Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar of the month. This month, we're going to be talking about how you can double and even triple your online leads with video content. And we have Vince here from Vinrock Media to talk about that. How are you doing, Vince?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on, Jason. I really appreciate it.
Awesome, awesome. So, and I'll just have to have a disclaimer right now. I know there's a lot of people heading through this, and you may hear a little noise in the background because I actually have my little one in class right now. So, if you hear that, some noise, just ignore it for now. All right, let's begin. Vince, let us know a little bit about who you are.
Well, my name is Vince Lujan. I'm the co-founder of Vinrock Media, and I say co-founder because I also run it, and we started the company with my wife, Elizabeth, as well, which she's not here right now, but it's great. We have a small family business, and we are a video marketing agency that helps companies in the home improvement industry become known as the #1 authority in their market. And we specialize in video production, social media distribution, and web design. And before I go further too, what I really want to start off by saying as well is I hope everybody can stick around to the end because I'm going to give away a full free video script that you can use in your business and get hopefully some good results for your making videos in your business, as well as a list of headlines and video ideas to grab from.
That's awesome. That's a very good incentive to stay to the end.
Yeah, yeah. So stick around. We're gonna get you some value out of this webinar here. So and this podcast as well. How I got started in the business too is it's interesting as I currently am a shareholder of a flooring and kitchen cabinetry business, one that my parents started back in 1981. So I've run different parts of the business in the flooring and kitchen business, and I just really kicked off in doing their marketing since 2007 with video, Facebook, and just designing their websites. And we just started, really getting into it, and we really helped increase their sales, go from 1 million to 3 million in a town that only has 10,000 people in it. So it was just crazy because the town is small, and to pull those kind of numbers, I mean, we really had to spread and make sure their business turned into the town celebrity, if you will, the HGTV of Alamosa, Colorado, where they're located. And after we did all that, just a lot of people asked me to do their marketing work. So it just, people kept asking. And so then we decided, heck, we're getting so much requests for this. We'll start Vinrock Media, and we did in 2018.
Okay, and awesome. With all that is happening, there's a lot of things out there on the internet. So how do you stand out from everybody else and all of the noise that's out there on the internet with video?
Well, first and foremost, if you do video, you're gonna stand out. Video, there is just, and everybody can see it. It's just grown leaps and bounds, and every single year it's just growing like crazy. And we've just pulled stats that are documented, and they just show that, like, first of all, 82% of all consumer internet traffic is predicted to be video by 2021. That is just insane. And then if you say, okay, that, I don't know, video, I don't know about that much. Okay, let's go into the next stat, which is crazy. 80% increased conversion rate happens when you include a video on a landing page. Now, that is not a prediction, that is happening. That is just flat out happening on websites if you put your videos on your landing pages. So it's huge. And then video just generates 1,200% more shares than text and images combined on.
That's amazing right there. When I saw that stat, I was like, wow, that is amazing.
It's crazy. It really is. I mean, people are just addicted to the video. And so we really try to find out, well, how can we utilize video to help us in our business and not just show the next, fun cat video or crazy laugh video.
Right.
Will help to make it happen in our business. And really, when you start to work with it, it really it helps your audience to get to know and like and trust you real fast because they see who you are as people, you know. And then on top of that, the video content can be splintered off into tons of bite-sized pieces of content, which you may not think of because you can do a full video, but then you can take a screenshot, let's say, of your kitchen, right? Or maybe your showroom, or maybe just of a new product. And maybe that you were including those in your video, but you take a screenshot of that, and all of a sudden now you have a photo, right? So you have another piece of content that you can add to a second post or to another platform like Instagram or anything else, just as another piece of content, because that's, you know, we all know creating content can be difficult sometimes. So it's just great to splinter it off into multiple pieces. And we also just like to say too that, you know, video is fantastic, but the most important thing is your message and
Mhm.
really what are you trying to accomplish and how are you trying to help your audience so you can grow your business and be a known authority in your market.
That's so true. And one of the points I want to hit on what you talked about is know, like, and trust, because that's one of the things all marketers talk about is you have to have content to have them know, like, and trust you. And video is a great way to do that. So
Oh,
that's
it's
a great.
huge, and people just love seeing people's faces, right? And you get to know the business owner, you get to know the salespeople, you get to know who they are real fast, and then you just start to instinctively start trusting them.
That's so true. So with the content, how do you know what video content is right for your particular audience?
Well, you know that really is based on where the customer or where your audience is in their stage of the relationship with you, right? So like people are at different stages, and what I see in our marketing work that we do for people, and we're trying to help people, a lot of people don't think of this and they're immediately trying to sell things with anything really. It could be a video or it could just be a post, just it doesn't really matter, but they try to sell things to cold audience right away, trying to get that sale. And if people in their journey with you as a business that they're barely learning who the heck you are, it's really like you shouldn't be trying to sell them real fast. And especially with big ticket items like you know, kitchen and bath design or new countertops or new floors, or you know, those tend to be more expensive items. So you really have to pay attention to where these people are in relationship with you. And when people are first getting to know you, then you really want to create videos or any kind of content that gets them to be aware of you. And that's stage one, and that's
Okay.
awareness. You know, why do you do what you do as a brand as it relates to your customer? If you can show that with your videos, and then people can learn about you. You're not just pushing some kind of 10%, 15% off sale down their throat.
Right.
They're just learning about what you are and what you do with that video, you know. And here's where you really got to learn about external and internal problems. Like if someone is going to buy a new kitchen floor, for example, yeah, the problem may be that they need a new floor. That's the external problem, but really there's an internal problem going on, and that's more the psychological thing about why your potential customer is buying from you. And if you can tap into those things, then you're going to be a lot more successful. For example, a lot of times when people or some of our clients, their customers, their homeowners and home remodelers, they're buying new floors in general because yes, they need a new floor, but the biggest reason is like maybe they're embarrassed of their old floor, or maybe, you know, maybe it has some odors, or they have pet stains on the floors, for example, and they need to replace that. And in reality, the internal problem is they don't want to be embarrassed to have their friends or family over and have an ugly floor that they're looking at. So if you can really tap into that transformation, then you're solving your internal problem. And then lastly is just, why did a customer choose you? You know, and those can be simple testimonial videos, but when you use a video for that, oh gosh, people really start to view you as an authority.
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right. When looking at that content that you're talking about, doing video, because I know on our end, sometimes we have clients that say, I don't have all of the equipment to do everything that I need to do. Is a phone enough, or how do they actually create that content that can do the video the right way?
Well, I mean, first of all, the how you actually get the videos done i- is not as important, again, like I said, as the messaging. And before we go, can we back up a couple slides here? I think there's a couple things I think we completely missed. One of the biggest things here, what might be the most important thing, and we'll get to how we pull this off. But stage two, I really want to focus on because this might be the most important thing. And this, we call this the engagement and the evaluation. And these are what we call how videos. And mostly they are just serving your audience on teaching them how to do something or how to creating a video that can serve them in which way you become a trusted advisor. It kind of goes to this notion of if you're just trying to sell something to someone all the time, then they're just going to get blind to the fact that you're just trying to get money from them. But if you are constantly giving them, advice, tips, how to pick colors for your kitchen, or the top 5 things to avoid when choosing kitchen floors, for a big family. If you do those kind of videos, then you are going to get so much engagement and looked at as an authority, and people are just going to trust you like crazy. So that I don't want to skip over that.
Okay.
And then lastly, the stage 3 on the next slide is where you would actually start, selling your content, right? We call these the what videos, and they are just kind of like, what offer are you presenting your audience? Now is the time to do a promotion. Now is the time to ask for a sale. Remember, like we talked about, what are your customers' internal problems, not just their external. And just to always remember that people don't just buy your products, they buy transformation. They want to go from an unhappy state to a new state of feeling better about their home, about their floors, about their kitchen, or their bathrooms, whatever it may be. So it's very important that you do create those kinds of videos when you do this. And when you do a before and after type of video, which we're going to get into, you can do the before and after as an awareness of like, hey, this is what you do. And you can also do a before and after video and say, hey, check out this before and after video. But right now, if you come and give us a call, we have this 25% off sale going on. The messaging you can apply to any stage of the process. It really matters on who you're presenting the videos to, at what stage they know about you.
Mm-hmm.
And that just goes on to being like, if you, just for an example, if you post a video just to your Facebook page or your Instagram or out in the world, and you let it run for a little while, and then you have like so many X thousands of views, now you can post a new video and you can have those people that watch the first video as the target. You show it to them, and you show it to them only. And it's a kind of an advanced strategy, but it really works well.
Okay. Okay. So now heading back into how do we actually get the videos done? How does that all take place?
Yeah, so there's a couple different options. Everyone can choose, and I've talked to so many different people on what is what they need in their business. And for example, right now, one of the options is to go ahead and just shoot all your videos in-house, right? There's a lot of young people. I mean, the industry is blowing up, and they're just learning videography these days. And you can hire them like in-house as part of your team, or even if you just know someone that is kind of into it, just get them going on it. That's the key, is get started. One of my clients, we had them use a GoPro and a little bit of lighting. I'm sure a lot of people have seen ring lighting. And you can also use a DSLR camera with a gimbal. But a GoPro, like the newer GoPros, are really nice because they're the first touch to get into it if you haven't started, and they're very easy. in the sense that they have stabilizers in the camera where you don't create this shaky video, right?
Okay.
Like you can use your phone or you can use other things, but the problem is you have to be very careful of making a shaky video.
Right.
Or like making a before and after video example, you always want like forward movement and to be stable, because if you go if you imagine walking into a house, uh,
Right. The
a
up and down of that. Yep.
yeah, yeah. And if you imagine walking into a house, everyone walks forward, right? No one ever walks backward. So you always got to keep that in mind. What you would do is you would push in with your GoPro walking forward. And as you walk through the house, you would have it at 60 frames per second. Now, this is important. If you've never done this before, if you want to learn how to do this, start practicing with 60 frames per second when you're walking through a house. And the reason that is because the purpose of that is to slow the footage down. The higher your frame rate, like 60 frames per second, you create somewhat of a slow motion type of video. Now, what that does is it creates the video to be more smooth. So if you see a nice smooth push-in shot, then you can have a nice beautiful looking video shot, right? And then what you do is you use 24 frames per second for anybody that has any talking head. And we use rule of thirds framing. Look, you can Google it, you can look it up. I can't really show you here, but it's really simple. If you frame a person's face correctly in the shot, it will make your videos just look so much more professional, and do that for talking head. So if anyone were to say something about a house or a kitchen or an interior, you can use that 24 frames for talking, and it's basically normal real motion. But once you start making those push-in shots of the house, use that 60 frames per second to smoothen out that footage and make it really nice. And what I like to do is I'll do the same 60 frames per second push through as I walk through rooms and whatnot, on the before state and then
Mm-hmm.
the after state of the video. Okay.
Okay.
Because then you can clip those things together. So let's say you do a before and then you do an after, and you make those clips together, and you the customer or the audience will see what the kitchen or the bathroom or what other room looked like before, and then how beautiful it looks afterwards. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and you don't have to be this great cinematographer person to do this. Just learn a little bit, try it out, and you actually start showing transformation in your potential customer's eyes, and they immediately see that, oh, these guys know what they're doing, so.
Okay. And then just to ask about, what is the typical cost of a GoPro or, the
Yeah,
DSLR right now?
they've calmed down so much. And that's why if you're going to do it just to get started, a GoPro is great for two reasons. One is because of the cost is roughly about, like $300. And then the second reason is just that steadiness. You can
Right.
make a beautiful, beautiful shot and not need a gimbal. You don't need a gimbal to do that. And if you don't know what a gimbal is, it's just a tool that stabilizes the camera. It's a little handle grip that will stabilize the camera. The GoPro already has it built in, and I'm talking about like the newer ones that have come out. They're phenomenal, and I've had clients use these where they can pass off the GoPro to different employees to go into a house and do it. And so it's a great starter way to get going.
Okay. And so now, what if you actually have a client that wants to do some of the video on their own, but they wanted to hire out
Yeah,
other
so
aspects?
we actually work with some clients like that right now a lot. And a lot of times what will happen is they're okay with like shooting with the GoPro, or maybe someone has a DSLR camera like a Canon or Nikon or Panasonic camera, and they'll actually shoot some content. but they just don't have the time to edit it, right? So they'll go ahead and just have us edit the videos for them. We'll work it out and we'll spit it out, and then they'll do the other work, and they can save on the money because they're not paying us or anyone else to actually go out and on live production and do that.
Right.
Yeah, and or if you need help with ideas or how are we going to get some sales videos out there, landing page videos, they'll shoot the work, but then we'll put in the Google ads or whatnot, you know.
Hmm.
And that's a real good way. And then lastly, if you just don't have the time to do any of it, then you can just hire out the entire process, so it's just done. Now we do that as well, but again, you can just hire that out to anyone in your area. If you're just too busy and you don't have someone that can do creating in your business, or you want to decide on what elements of online marketing you can commit to and just get that part done, well, then just hire that process out. So it's just really that part that where people just want it done.
Okay. So if they are to hire someone out, what are some best practices that you would say for hiring that out? What should they look for? What type of questions should they ask? Anything like that?
Well, mostly you want to see if people have done work in messaging and scripting and business strategy, because while video is the best medium out these days, we never want to just create videos just for the sake of video.
Right.
Like I said before, the most important thing is messaging. And the most important thing is putting videos and talking to your customers in the stages that they're in, not just creating a sales video to a cold audience, right? Messaging. The strategy will overtake how pretty or how hyped up or good looking or cool a video will be. So really, I would focus on that.
Okay. That makes sense. And now, do you have any final thoughts about video and the whole process and how this all can work?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the first and foremost, when I think about it, is to really to serve your audience and help them figure out what their internal problems is and try to be that solution for that. If someone is trying to replace carpet in their home, for example, because they have pet stains or maybe it's just ugly, then that is a different internal solution, because maybe they might be embarrassed, or their problem is they're embarrassed of how it smells in their home, and they might want to have friends over. That might be a completely different solution for us. Let's say a family just had a baby and they need new floors or a new bathroom setup or whatever it might be, because it's got to be more baby friendly, so
Right.
maybe they don't want that hardwood, or maybe they don't want this particular type of bathroom situation. You really got to serve your audience, figure out who they are and help them. Don't forget to help them. There's never been a better time to reach your audience with video, and you can do it. Just help your audience. Also, another thing is always try to have a hook and call to action in every video. Even if the call to action is just to comment below or to subscribe to my channel, or if it's opt into my email, or if it's to actually call our phone number, whatever the call to action is, have them do something, and always have that hook at the beginning because you want to excite them to keep watching, right? Another
Right.
thing is, you don't need expensive gear, but you need to get out of your comfort zone. This is just huge. So many clients I work with, they really are so nervous about getting in front of a camera. And then after we do it, just like, even 3 times, and I mean, even in the same day, after we just like do 3 different clips, they just forget the camera and they just start going. And once you do that, that person is getting out of their comfort zone. And if I like to think of it like, I was once told it's related to speaking on stage. Someone, I was about to speak on stage one time, and I was nervous. I was so nervous. I was speaking in front of like 200 people, and someone told me, who has done it a lot, They said, if you're so nervous about speaking on stage, then you're so worried about yourself, about how you're going to look, and you're not concentrating on how you can help your audience. You're not
That's a good
concentrating
point.
on how you can serve them.
I like that.
You're kind of being a little selfish, Vince. And it hit me like a ton of bricks,
Right.
you know? So that goes the same with video. If you're so worried about the way you look or what you're going to say, then you're more worried about you on video than helping your client or your customer.
And that's so true. If I can interrupt there, we actually have a client that didn't want to be on video, and she was reluctant because she was hesitant about how she looked, how she sound. And then we were always on her about just do it. You're never going to sound how you want to sound. You're never going to look how you want to look, but just do it. And
That's
after
right.
a while, now she's been at it for about a month and she loves it. But at first, like you said, it was that fear of doing it, getting out there, not sounding right, not looking right, that was holding back.
Yep. That's absolutely true. It's just so true. People really don't care what you look like, whether or not you make a mistake. What they really care about is if you can help them. And if you can serve them on that video, or you can help them with things to look out for, 5 tips to think about before you spend the money, whatever the thing is you're helping them with. If it really does tap into helping them, gosh, they're going to love you, and they're going to subscribe, or they're just going to go to your store, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And also just remember, this happens a lot with us too. It doesn't have to be you in front of the camera as well. If you're the owner, it can be a brand representative. It can be somebody, or it can be a mixture. It can be you as the owner, or it can be someone that works in your team, and you can combine different people. We like to do that with our clients, and that works a lot too, because it almost gets more characters in the story, if you will. There's more people. They're like, oh, cool. Who's this guy, or who's that girl? And it actually. It's fun because we do entertaining videos too, because we help our clients serve their customers, but sometimes we do some entertainment videos with the store, and their fans love it, right? And then all of a sudden you have new personalities and new team members, and it's a lot of fun. Include whoever you can. It doesn't have to just be one person or you. And always remember, it's extremely hard to sell to cold audiences. That's very hard. Think about anytime you try to do a cold call, or if you ever work, any kind of telemarketing job when you're younger, or any kind of job like that, knocking door to door. It's so hard, and obviously nobody likes it. And that's because it's a cold audience. They don't know who you are. They don't know, like, and trust you. So social media or the internet is no different. Just the mediums have changed, right? Instead of knocking door to door, you're asking for someone to buy your encyclopedia online, and nobody wants to do that, right? So get them to learn about you, like you, know you, trust you, with value, and then there is a time to sell them and present an offer that would, because people want to buy things, they just don't want to be sold to, right? So
Exactly.
That's also good. And I guess the last thing I'd want to say is we really do live in crazy times right now. Everybody knows what's going on in the world. And there's a lot of hardship and all that, but there's also a ton of opportunity right now if you can innovate. There might be things in your business that you're just not sure what to do right now, and your whole infrastructure is going crazy. But the opportunity to innovate and do things in a new way is just there for you for the taking. And the people that take advantage of these new innovative methods to help their clients succeed, those are the businesses that are going to survive, and do well and thrive, So that's just, again, if you haven't done it before, start getting in front of that camera, start doing things a little different than you have before in the past, and it'll benefit you.
That's a great point. You have shared a lot of good information here. And so if anyone wanted to get in contact with you, how do they do so?
Well, like I said in the beginning, what I want to do is I want to help you. I want to serve you as well. I want to give you a full free video script. Now, this one's a sales video script, which is awesome because we a lot of times we don't know how to sell something, but this will show and reach out to your clients in a video on how you can help sell them a solution to their problems and help them out, and they won't mind it so much, especially if you get did know, like, and trust videos to begin with. But I want to give you this full script so it'll help you know what to say. And I also want to give you a full template of ideas on how you can engage your customers, your clients, with video ideas that might help them. It's kind of a combination of headlines and video ideas of what you can film. Because a lot of times we say, okay, we want to get on video, but I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I should do. Well, there's a lot of these ideas will spark up that creativity. Just for example, one idea is just like the top 5 things to avoid when choosing your kitchen cabinets, right? That's one video idea, right? And there's just tons and tons of them that I can give you in a template. And all you have to do is just email me at vinrockmedia.com, and just let me know that you'd like the template and the script and the video script, and I'll send them to you. And also, if you like, we can also give you a free strategy call as well to help you personally in your business as well. And you just have to email me again, just asking for a call, and we can chat and see on how we can help you. And we can get that scheduled. The only thing with that on the strategy call is we love to help new businesses with ideas, but obviously those take a little bit more time, and we only have a select amount of people we can help with that. So the sooner the better, and we can put you on the calendar and just help you with that. And that's, again, Vince at vinrockmedia.com. And you can also text me at 719-588-9495.
Awesome. Great job. Great job. So I'll open it up for any questions that we may have from the audience right now. And there was one that came in about cost. They were also talking about DSLR and then about the GoPro, but they were saying if you had to have a budget, what would be a minimum budget that you should prepare to have for video if you did it on your own?
If you did it on your own, I would say, gosh, at a minimum, to do it well, I would say probably maybe $500, because what you could do is you would do like a $300 nice GoPro with that steadiness, right? And then just $200 more for a ring light. Because one of the most important things is lighting. If it doesn't matter how expensive you get a camera or equipment, if you don't have a good light or just kind of lighting in your scene, that is the first and foremost best thing to do. Audio's right up there as well. However, that's why I recommend the GoPro situation, is because their actual audio mics in the new GoPro 8 and even the 7 are just phenomenal. They've increased their quality levels. They're just fantastic. And then from there, you can obviously go in deep as far as you want, right? I mean, when I started with a Canon DSLR and a shotgun mic, because the GoPros back then weren't very good. They were pretty sloppy. So I started with a Canon, and it did well. And I just kept adding more stuff and more stuff, right? And then before you know it, I have tens of thousands of dollars in my arsenal with our video production. But that's because that's what we do now, right? But for you can start at 500.
Okay, and then that may have answered. You may have answered one of the other ones, because they also asked about lighting. What would be the minimum lighting requirement that would be needed? And you may have already answered that in
and when you say minimum, that on just lighting, that's an interesting topic too, because it also depends on like how and where you're going to use it. If you're going to take a light into let's say a project inside of a house and showcase some kind of finished project that you do, you're definitely going to have to pick a light that is you can transfer. It's portable. You take it over there with you. But if you're going to do any type of videos where you're just talking to your clients, you're giving them a question and answer forum, you're giving them just top 5 tips of this or that, and you're doing that more in your showroom, well, then you can also get away with just doing getting a good light, and it's not so portable. You plug it in, and then you're off to the races, right? It really depends on what you're going to do. But yeah, I guess you could find something for about $100 but I would, if you can, go a little bit more than that, and you'll probably be off to a good start.
Okay. And then the last one we had was on audio. They were asking, do you need some type of special microphone, or the GoPro or the DSLR? Do they already have a audio microphone within that camera that is acceptable, or do you need something
Sure.
extra?
Sure. So the new GoPros have a real good mic. That's why I recommend them to start. However, once you get into it more and more, if you can afford it, it's always best to get the highest quality mics that you can afford. And one of the best solutions to getting that started would be to get either a lavalier mic, well, they call them a lav mic or a lapel mic, and you just kind of attach that to your shirt. We've all seen that before.
Yep.
We use the Tascam. I think it's a DL10. But again, and like I said, if anyone wants to email me and ask me, get a deep dive for you on these things, we can do that. But we use that. Shotgun mics are really good too for a DSLR, because you can just put a mic on top of your DSLR, attach it, and you'll get a lot better audio than your DSLR will provide. And usually a Rode shotgun mic, RODE, is really good to start. And usually you can get those for just $100, a couple $100, and that'll be a good solution as well. And just kind of go from there. They have different ranges for those as well. Obviously, if you have $100 Rode mic or a $300 Rode mic or a $500 Rode mic, they're going to change in quality. And a lot of that has to do with distance or how far away you are from the subject. The other thing is, if you're doing any kind of video recording that is outside, you're going to want to make sure that you get some kind of what they call a dead cat to put over the mic, which is just like I'm sure you've seen it before. It's just like this kind of furry encasing over the mic to block out the wind. And that's really important if you do that.
Okay, awesome. I think wait to see if there's any last minute questions as that's happened. Do you have any last minute things you would like to say, Vince?
Again, just get going on the video. It's there for the taking. One thing I will say is that while the opportunity is there, more and more businesses and companies and people are starting to get on this trend and starting to do it, right? You see it all over the place. And as more time goes on, there will be less of an opportunity to stand out because so many more people are doing it.
Right.
You might find more of your competitors doing it. Well, as if you would start now and get going, you can get that edge and start becoming that authority in your market.
So true. I think that is all the questions for today. Vince, thank you for your time. You have offered up a lot of good information. And as Vince said here, if you need to reach out to him, his information is here. And we'll also have this on the replay as well. Vince, thanks again.
Vince at vinrockmedia.com, or text me 719-588-9495. But if you text me, let me know where you came from.
Yeah.
Like, who are you?
yes, that's a good point. Vince, thanks for your time. We have enjoyed having you here today and giving a lot of good information to everybody. So
it was great being here. Thank you a lot, Jason. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Now, next month we will be talking about virtual design. This has been one of the webinars I've been asked about a lot lately because with all that is happening, you know, a lot of interior designers and remodelers are looking at how to do e-design and virtual design and offer that as a service. So we're going to actually have Jenna on from the e-design tribe next month, and she's going to talk about how you can introduce virtual design into your own business model. So we hope to see you all next month. Have a good day.